Yeah, Nico here, 60. He rolled that bit though, then. Hey, Nicholas.
Yeah. Ready to go.
What? What you say? Suck ass nigga.
For a little savings, Specialist Miller buys in bulk. For a lot of savings,
many of you guys know that the PlayStation 5 essentially acts as its own built-in capture card for recording and live streaming gameplay, but it comes with its limitations, such as not being able to have graphics. You guys are also going to want to make sure to decide whether, as long as your PlayStation and computer are on the same network connection, they'll have an easy time finding each other to establish the remote play session. Now you can connect your PS5 controller with your computer, then you can sign into remote play using your primary PSN account. As long as your PlayStation and computer are on the same network connection, they'll have an easy time finding each other to establish the remote play session. Now you can connect your PS5 controller via the USB-C to USB-A cable directly to the computer, or you can do it via Bluetooth. All you would need to do is press the home button and the create button at the same time for about 3 seconds until you see select the DualSense controller and you're good to go. Phone for your commentary in Streamlabs. As a great benefit to this setup though is that you can use one microphone for your commentary in Streamlabs as well as through the remote play session for all your parties and game chats, all that good stuff. Just make sure in your audio settings on your computer you have your input device set to your microphone that you have plugged into your computer, and then in remote play just go ahead, unmute yourself, and you'll be able to talk to your party members in your game chat. Now if you want to pair your PS5 controller directly with the console while still being able to use Streamlabs without the capture card, then you're going to need to create a second PSN account. You'll need to add that second PSN account as a user to your PS5 and then make sure remote play is enabled and offline sharing, primary console, those settings are set that we just covered. And from there you can go to the remote play application at the moment. Keep that in mind. But
uh-oh. What do you think I should get for my birthday? 2 straight tweets.
Fed up with a boring looking stream that with PS5 limits you First, you'll need to set up a second user on your PS5 with another PSN account linked to it. I'll fully explain why this account is necessary in the pinned comments, but it essentially acts as a link between your PS5 and OBS, whilst you then use your comments, but it essentially acts as a link between your PS5 and OBS, whilst you then use your usual account to play the games that you want to stream. Once that second account is on the PS5, go to that account settings, then use an account, then down to other and enable console sharing and offline play. You can now switch users back to your main account. Don't log out, just switch user. Next, head on over to your PC or laptop and make sure you have either OBS or Streamlabs OBS installed, so I'll leave download links to them in the description. I'll be using or Streamlabs OBS installed, so I'll leave download links to them in the description. I'll be using Streamlabs in this tutorial, but the setup process is essentially the same with standard OBS.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Tell the people why you haven't done it already, my man. Let's start it off.
With the streaming software installed, you'll also want to install PS Remote Play for your device, which I will have linked in the description too. Once PS Remote Play is installed, open the software up and you'll be prompted to sign into your account. To avoid any lag on the stream and completely bypass any input lag to your own gameplay, you want to sign into that second PSN account you just made, not your main account. I have left a more in-depth explanation as to how the second account does this in the pinned comment, so you. Then wait whilst the but you're playing on your main account. That's exactly what we want here. Once we have the stream set up, therefore, you can just go back to your usual display and play as you normally would do. You'd have no idea the stream was even currently taking place if you weren't the one hosting it. That's how seamless this method truly is. Before getting to do that though, you might see a remote play connected message at the top of your PlayStation screen that doesn't seem to go away. Luckily, it can be removed by going to settings, then system, then language, and changing your language to something else, to then change it right back to and go into the FPS values and adjust this. Recommend you set the both. It might not work, so just open up the software and don't touch the remote play window at all. I'm going to be using Streamlabs for this video. With your streaming software open, we'll first quickly change some of the settings by clicking the settings wheel at the bottom left and then go into the video tab. I recommend you set both the base and output resolutions to the same values as your PS5 streamed at, that being 1920 by 1080. Now go down to common FPS values and adjust this to 60. In the window, add remoteplay.x PS remote play, and then uncheck the option to capture the cursor. Leave everything else on the default options and click done. Capture PS5, and then under window, add remoteplay.x. We can add all the different elements of the scene. In fact, let's begin here by adding your PS5 screen. Do that by clicking the add icon, then select window capture. You should then call this window capture PS5, and then under window add remoteplay.x PS remote play, and then uncheck the option to capture the cursor. Leave everything else on the default options and click done. You should now see your PS5 screen on the stream preview. How awesome is that? If you don't see it, double check that you didn't minimize the remote play window by selecting it on the taskbar and then just clicking outside the window anywhere on Streamlabs, and then try adding it again. If it still doesn't appear on screen or is not full screen, then right click on it, go to transform and click fit to screen. Next up, let's add your voice to the stream. You can do so by looking at the mixer section and clicking on the settings wheel next to the mic/aux audio section, then hitting on properties. Here you can change the device using the drop down menu. The only options here are mics connected to your PC or laptop, so if you don't have one, you will need to plug one in or use your headset. Personally, I like to use the Fifine K658. It is an incredible microphone for content creators and streamers of any size at a great price point too, and if you are curious